Pretty wild situation going on with former BYU quarterback Jake Retzlaff. He's going to transfer away from BYU. This came out last night, and it's a very complicated situation. It's a very serious situation. So I know if you're a BYU fan that watches our channel, or if you're new to us, hello. A lot of the stuff that we do is comedic in nature. This one ain't going to be comedic in nature really at all. It's a serious situation, but it's just kind of shocking what has happened here. So Jake Retzlaff has been dealing with a suit against him, a civil lawsuit alleging that he raped a woman in 2023. This has been known about for a little while. For what it's worth, Retzlaff himself has disputed this. I mean, it seems like this is far from resolved, but no one really knew where this left him with dealing with those allegations, trying to prove his innocence versus just still having eligibility to play football. Um, Reminder that this is, I don't want to, I shouldn't even probably go here, but like, this is just our general approach with stuff like this. We covered Terrence Shannon Jr., Illinois superstar, a couple years ago, as he dealt with an allegation that he was charged with rape. Ultimately, after a very long time and missing games at Illinois, he was found innocent. He was acquitted. So, look, we covered that in the moment, and we did not try to put our finger one way or the other. I certainly don't want to do that with Retzlaff either. I do not know the details of this case, but just want to sort of lay that out there. There's a little bit of a recent precedent here of college athletes, star college athletes, being accused of something like this, asserting their innocence, and then the due process sort of, I don't know, acquitting them in the end. Not saying that's going to happen with Retzlaff or not. It happened with Terrence Shannon. It reminds me of a similar situation, is all I'm saying. Anyways, fast forward. While Jake Retzlaff has been dealing with this, uh, the uniqueness of him being at BYU has now come into play because Jake Retzlaff himself has, in part of his dispute of these allegations, gone on record and said it was consensual. It was consensual sex. And the problem with that is that Jake Retzlaff just admitted to premarital sex, which is a violation of BYU's honor code. And as that has now surfaced in this lawsuit, as Jake tries to defend himself, he may have defended himself, but he's now lost the ability to play football at BYU. It came out yesterday that there would be a 7-game suspension for Jake Retzlaff at BYU if he returned to BYU this season in light of admitting to premarital sex. This is not the first time that BYU's honor code has come into play with star athletes. You can Google that and find more answers, but it's the first time in recent memory that anyone of this caliber has had to deal with something like this. In light of all of that, long story short, Jake has entered the transfer portal and he will be leaving BYU. He still has a year of eligibility. In theory, I mean, who knows what happens with the lawsuit, but in theory, Jake Retzlaff could play quarterback this season somewhere else that doesn't have an honor code if he is not facing legal troubles by the time the season gets here. It's a crazy situation. It's wildly unprecedented, and it's extremely serious. I don't know what to make of it. Cart, what's your reaction to all of this?
Yeah, obviously, ongoing lawsuit that Retzlaff has denied the allegations. He has admitted to consensual sex with the woman. So there's a lot that you can read up on this case as far as the allegations made against him, which are extremely serious, and then obviously Retzlaff himself giving his side of the story and his response indicating that, it was consensual and that this is an extortion attempt based on the idea that Retzlaff is somewhat on NFL radar. So there's a lot that's going on with this case, but the actual transferring of Retzlaff is based on the fact that he's violating the BYU honor code, which we haven't seen since I think it was Brandon Davis, Brandon Davies,
Brandon Davies, correct.
yeah, on the basketball team, and um I believe that was legit just him getting caught having sex, and it was a violation of the honor code, and haven't seen anything like that since then. But I don't know. It's just in a BYU football bubble, like the football team was going to be very good this season, and now on late June, going into May, I mean, football season is not that far away. It's less than 100 days away, and you don't have your quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a BYU football program that had a great year last year that I think had serious hopes of a great year this year with Jake Retzlaff back. So, um, look, there are so many different parts of this situation to discuss, right? It's hard. We don't want to come on here and be like first take trying to give takes about something like this. That's not what I intend to do. But there's just a lot of different parties involved that have ramifications here. Like there's the alleged victim who's waiting for whatever findings are and the results of this lawsuit. You've got Jake himself who is asserting his innocence, trying to play football. I'm sure Jake did not want to leave BYU, but he probably interpreted this situation as, hey, I have no choice. The only way I can defend myself is to state what I believe happened. This was consensual. And if I do that, I know that I'm going to lose my year at BYU. That was probably one of the hardest decisions for him. I mean, I can't imagine being in his shoes and needing to do that. At the same time, when you go to BYU, you know what the honor code is, right? Like, if this is what happened, and this is what Jake is saying happened, you knew you were violating the honor code. So, I don't know how frequent it is. Maybe someone could let us know. Like, do BYU athletes just violate this all the time and not tell anybody?
See
Or
that's the part where I feel like the separation of the like obviously it's a very serious situation, but on the other side of it, I just had like, is it truly a situation where these BYU athletes are just not like no one is doing it?
it's
Well,
supposed to be.
because it's not even an athlete thing. I don't think anyone on campus like that's a violating the whole. Isn't the honor codes for any student, right?
This video is brought to you by NBA 2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. And they're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's it's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video. I believe so. It is supposed to be. It is supposed to be. Like I think that's the intention. That's why it exists. That's why there have been punishments levied before. You and I'm sure, have our own thoughts on that being a rule. Again, we're not involved in the faith behind this, right? So I'm not here to say anything if it's faith based is good or bad. Um, but it's just a wildly unprecedented situation. And look, my if I did have a stance on it, I would just say the rules are the rules. Like whether or not you agree with the rules is fine, but Jake had to have at least known what he was risking if he was engaging in consensual sex that could
For
result in a
sure.
7 game suspension.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I at the same time, as someone who followed college football and covered it last year, I love Jake Retzlaff. I loved watching him play. I hope he gets to play a full season. I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't know the details of the case to know. Obviously, I want the victim to find justice too if this is a serious situation. But I don't know. You look across the college football landscape. Do you think there is a team out there that would take Jake Retzlaff and start him at quarterback immediately?
Yeah, I do. Some good football teams too. Like I could see honestly Tennessee, who lost Nico, like maybe they want to get another quarterback in the fold for their team that could be good. Notre Dame seems to always do good with like transfer quarterbacks. Not sure who they got in the fold this season and who they're planning on starting. I think any top 25 team that is in need of a quarterback is going to call him.
Think Michigan calls him?
He probably wants to play.
They were still sniffing around guys as of last week.
And that they I think Michigan's already brought in some quarterbacks with some baggage. I don't know if they need another one.
There's a lot going on there. You're right. This is
Yeah.
true. What now on the flip side, the other party here, what does BYU do? You just lost your quarterback. You had dreams of a really, really good season this late in the cycle. Now you got a pretty awesome quarterback commitment a week ago. Like, I don't know what reclassification options are on the table or not. What?
Can't do that because he's out of here. He's going on a mission.
Oh, he's going on the mission. Okay. All right. Well, then
Yeah.
what should BYU attempt to do, Cart?
It might be Bear season.
You think so?
Bear Bachmeier. I mean, you're looking at like the rest of the roster. They had the Trayson guy who did a little bit, but he barely really played into. I don't know. I think that it's going to be somebody that is, I think, unknown, and it's obviously given what this has happened. I'm sure BYU coaches knew this might come about, right? Like this case has been the lawsuit's been going on for a minute. So they probably had some inkling that this was gonna occur.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. I I don't know. I'm intrigued, Cart, because I don't feel like there's many great options out there. You're basically gonna have to go with an inexperienced option. Could you could you wait until like late November when um like Dawson Baker's unhappy and have him switch sports? Would that work?
Is Dawson Baker still on the team?
I thought he was still on the team. Am I wrong on that?
He'd be a pretty good quarterback if he is.
That's what he has the jaw structure of a great quarterback, doesn't he?
Yeah, honestly, that's probably the best case scenario.
Yeah. Yeah, Dawson Baker's still on the team. Redshirt senior, it would work perfectly. Just saying.
There you go.
This is why you consult us for answers, but scary situation. We'll see what happens here, but I don't know. Are we allowed to root for Jake Retzlaff as he leaves BYU at this point? How do BYU fans feel about all of this in the end, do you think? It's
I
complicated.
don't know. I feel like they're pretty torn on it.
Like
I
even
mean,
objectively, if you interpret all of this as best as you can for Jake, if I'm a BYU fan and the pitch is like, "Hey, my star quarterback violated my honor code and is involved in a sexual assault investigation and is now portaling," I don't know if I'd be like firmly behind that guy in terms of like
I
thank
don't
you
think
for all
that
you've done.
honestly, I don't think they are.
But also at the same time, now I put the other hat on, just being a normal human being. So what? My star quarterback had sex? He's innocent. What? Like I'm supposed to hate the guy? I don't know what you do with this if you're a BYU.
It it's a situation where I feel like you're just two different sides are pulling at you because like you have obviously the lawsuit going on, but truthfully, there definitely is probably got to be some contingent that is saying that like, dog, my football season is ruined because my quarterback might have had consensual sex.
Yeah, my
Like,
basically my quarterback's that boy, and now I'm missing a bowl game.
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what you do with any of this, but we'll see. Maybe
it's the code.
BYU fans chime in. Let us know. Serious situation. Hope for the best. It's hard to hope for the best for all parties when there's two parties that are both like this. Like there's still a
Yeah.
serious lawsuit going on, but hopefully we get justice and truth prevails in the end.